healthy aging, life after 70, food as medicine, natural health that actually works. Not from a doctor trying to sell you something. Not from an influencer with a ring light. From people who lived past 100 and earned every single word. This is The Art of Aging.
Hi there, welcome to the Art of Aging podcast. Let's jump in. Somewhere in a small purple fruit you've probably eaten 100 times without thinking twice, there is a compound that researchers believe can cross one of the most heavily guarded checkpoints in your entire body. The wall that protects your brain from almost everything else you eat. Almost nothing gets through that wall. This does. I want to tell you about a woman I'll call Dorothy. 79 years old, sharp as anyone you've met, but quietly terrified. Not of dying, she told me once, but of going foggy, the way her older sister had. She watched her sister's memory unravel slowly, year by year, and she made a private decision. She wasn't going to just wait and hope. She started asking her doctor what realistically she could do. The answer surprised her with how small it was. Here's what Dorothy learned, and what's worth understanding clearly. Blueberries are rich in compounds called anthocyanins, the pigments that give them their deep blue-purple color. Researchers have studied anthocyanins for their antioxidant properties, and some research suggests these compounds may be able to cross the blood-brain barrier, the protective filter that keeps most substances in your bloodstream from ever reaching brain tissue directly. That's notable because very few dietary compounds make it through that barrier at all. Some studies in older adults have linked regular blueberry consumption with modest improvements in certain measures of memory and cognitive performance. And researchers believe part of the mechanism may involve reducing oxidative stress and inflammation in brain tissue over time. It's worth being honest about the limits here. This is an active area of research, not a settled miracle. Blueberries are not a cure for memory loss, and they're not a substitute for medical care. But as a simple, low-risk dietary habit with real biological plausibility behind it, they've earned their reputation. Here's the practical version, and it's about as simple as health advice gets. About 1 cup of blueberries a day, fresh when they're in season and affordable, frozen the rest of the year, which preserves most of the same nutrients at a fraction of the cost. Frozen, unsweetened blueberries work just as well in this context as fresh ones, and they keep for months. Eat them plain, stirred into plain yogurt, added to oatmeal, or blended into a simple smoothie. Consistency matters more than any single serving. This is a habit you build over months, not a fix you take once. And because berries are naturally high in fiber and relatively low in sugar compared to many fruits, they are an easy habit for most people to sustain without much sacrifice. But what Dorothy actually said to me had very little to do with brain chemistry. I'm not eating them because I think they'll save me, she said. I'm eating them because every morning, doing this one small thing, I'm telling myself I still have a say in how this story goes. Her sister's decline had felt to her like something that simply happened to a person, a slow erosion with no resistance offered. Dorothy didn't want that kind of ending, even if she couldn't control everything about it. There's something quietly powerful in that distinction. None of us can guarantee our own outcome, but there's real dignity in refusing total passivity, in doing the small, evidence-informed things within your control, not because they promise certainty, but because the act of trying is itself a way of staying engaged with your own life, instead of merely waiting to see what happens to it. This episode reflects personal perspective and general wellness information, not medical advice. It is not a substitute for professional medical care. Please consult your doctor regarding memory concerns or any medical condition. If this gave you something to think about, send it to one person who needs it today. Follow The Art of Aging at Art of Aging Podcast for more honest conversations about aging well.